So hey everyone, I know I said I was going on to Melamorosa's part next, but I just kind of wanted to do one more part of this before I go back to doing some more of Melamorosa's, just because I really love doing this. I've decided whilst away I'm just going to make this the base of this cupcake here chocolate as well, so we can sort of have I guess chocolate cupcakes with different types of frosting on them. And probably other things we'll probably work on is like some of the berries and maybe some strawberries depending on time. We'll see how we go with it. Sorry, I'm just sitting with my legs on a chair at the minute and it's not always the most comfortable, and so yeah. But yeah, so I'm not quite sure, I'm working it out. I may start on the cupcake, on the actual cake, I may start on something on the berries, or maybe do the berries and leaves, I'm not sure. I'll work it out. It'll probably be roughly same length as yesterday, depending, I've got someone coming after, so it may be a bit shorter, I'm not sure. But we're going to start this cupcake slightly different with coming in with some of our dark Umber PC947, and this is mostly just for shadows kind of thing. So we mostly want this, trying not to go too much over the lines like I just did. Mostly want this for some shadows to create a bit of depth with that cupcake. And we're just bringing that around all of these areas where there's any types of shadows. And then just light shades in here. And then we're going to come in with our Tuscan Red PC937. And this one won't take long because it's such a small amount of space. But so we're coming in with Tuscan Red PC937, and we're blending that over the dark umber, as well as bring it up so we get a bit of that red colour coming up into the cupcake as well. And I didn't do the dark umber up here, but that's kind of because I didn't necessarily want the dark umber in that spot. I wanted the Tuscan Red there instead. I thought I just heard my dog whining. So this spot isn't going to have too much in the way of the colours down here because it is quite a dark area. Next, after that, we're coming in with our Terracotta PC944, and we're bringing that over all the other colours again. So as you'll notice, this area is quite dark down the bottom here, but that is because it is a lot in shadow. And we want to make sure we leave a little bit of white space up the top here for our last colour. But we do need some of our bits of light shadows here. And then finally, we're coming in with our burnt ochre PC943, and we're just colouring that over everything again. Well, not again because obviously, well, it is again because pretty much every time I do the shades over the top of all the others. We're also going to bring that burnt ochre into this colour just because we want to make sure that we keep the colour variations equal between the different cupcakes and that. So that's a cupcake there. Why I decided to do the brown base was because I was sort of thinking like it had already been pulled out of the cupcake because it didn't have a cupcake wrapper from what I could see. So yeah. Now what I'm thinking is possibly I may have to zoom out for some or just shift things around. We'll see how it goes. I may do all these berries at different times because of the camera being zoomed out and positions, it's kind of awkward. So I'm going to have to just move the book around a bit to shift things. But I'm thinking with these berries I was going to look a lot more at purple, what is it? Sort of similar tones to this so they stand out a bit to the cupcakes, I guess. At the same time, bit of purple tones into it if I can work it in, or maybe even try that. I think that might work. I guess we'll find out soon enough. So I'm thinking what I'm going to start with is a violet, and remembering our light source is coming from this direction, so we'll have the light sources on these top bits here. So we sort of want to come in with our violet PC932. So you want to bring that in sort of more around the bottom to the back bit here. And we're going to bring a little bit of a thickness in with that. And then make sure that we're putting our little light shading tone to allow it to be blended easier. And same for this one, but this one, because it's got one layered over the top of it, it has the shadow behind that bit. So I'm yet to respond, but I did receive 2 comments. I'm glad people are happy that I continued it. I always intended to go back to it, so I'm happy that you're happy to have that part up too. I just decided I wanted to do a bit of a, shall we say, third part briefly before I go and do some of Emelie Marotta's one next. That's my plans anyway. I'm just going to bring this over. For some reason my hands feel a bit greasy and I can't see it putting grease on the thing, but I'm still worried that I may get grease on the page. But there's already pencil spots and stuff on there anyway, so yeah. Now we're doing the same thing, just basically following anywhere where there's a berry or something, overlapping colours and base areas where there's sort of, I guess, would be shadows. We're basically just following those. Yeah. So we're pretty much just double checking. Yeah, it is following that. I am going to try and at least do these berries and possibly the berries on the cupcake. May not get to the strawberries just yet, but we'll see, depending on what I decide to do next. It may be the strawberries I do next, it may be the cake. Oh, excuse me. Wow, this pencil's already catching on the wood from where I sharpened it before. I'm just peeling a bit of the wood back a little bit at the very tip area where it's catching on the wood, because the way it's sharpened, it must be more to one side with the pencil lead, the way it is, because it's sort of catching on one side's got a lot of lead showing, the other side doesn't, so yeah. And our light shadows, because we need those to make the blending in easier. So I hope you can see all of these berries. I'm just leaving those little hole bits where the stem would be, or where the stem would have come from, open for now, because I'm not quite sure what I want to do in those sort of spots just yet, so I'll kind of work it out as I go, I guess. And I tried to choose purples for these because I felt it would work in, but it would also contrast a bit to the raspberries as well, though there will be some sort of purpley tones in the other bits. Maybe I should be doing like a bluey tone with it. No. Maybe I should be doing like a bluey tone, but I don't know that I'd have much bluey tones that would work. Oh, I'm sure I'd have bluey tones that would work with the purple, but no, I'm going to do what I've already got in mind. I was just considering bluey tones for a minute there because I thought that would work, but then I kind of want a bit of brightness to the berry, like it's not properly ripe or something like that kind of thing. We've got a final berry here. We will for this bottom part. And then we'll bring it up into the cupcake. I don't know how long this part will be, so if it is a bit shorter, please excuse me, but I'll see how long I can go and fit things in. So, just continuing with our violet. But I think I'm at least going to try and finish these berries and maybe some leaves on the cupcake if I can. I still haven't worked out a lot of it, so depending. I may make this a short part and then do a longer part again next time. We'll see. I'm also thinking too I may have to finish early because I don't know quite when, well, it's basically my mum's coming, so quite when she'll be coming, so yeah. So that's our violet done with our berries. Sorry, I moved it a little out of frame. Now what I think I'm going to come in with is a processed red PC994, and as usual, as you know, we colour that over all the colours. Make a change to that colour that I was considering. I may just use a white there. I think I'm just going to colour over where those holes are. I'm just going to colour over them, and we're just going to use a white to finish things, I think. Obviously some of the berries will be too small to do that, but I'm basically just going to colour over these holes sort of areas. And then just do some light shading with the processed red, like the usual. Yeah, that's quite pretty. I'm just going to shift it around again. Whoops, sorry. Spots of stuff on the paper. I don't know where that's come from because it's only been here a day or two. Probably a fly or something, because they seem to like pooping all over my books and stuff, they do. At least that's my opinion anyway, or what I've noticed. So I'm always finding fly poop or something new on something and I have no idea how it got there. But basically with these berries there's not really that much to it. It's just basically colouring a bit of processed red up the top and then just colouring over everything. And then we're going to add in a bit of white to some areas once we've got this bit done. But also doing the second colour over the top helps to blend all the colours in together and get rid of more of that speckledy look to the pencil colour. It does. And I went over the lines again. No point getting annoyed about it, I guess. Doesn't mean I like doing it though. This is the part here I was a little worried about because I didn't want it to be too close to the cupcake paper. So hopefully this berry doesn't just blend into the cupcake paper. So I think what I'm going to do there, just because we're getting to the end of our time frame, I'm going to stop it briefly and then we'll come back again once, well, and basically end stop and restart it again with the next colour. Just so that I'm not going to have the video cut out again like it did last time. So I'll see you shortly. So hey everyone, we're back. Now basically we're just going to come in with our white PC938, and basically what we want to do, we want to just sort of blend the white up through and over these berries just to lighten them up a bit and to sort of blend the pinks up into our white lighter areas. So we're basically trying to get a bit of that pinky purpley tone up into the white areas at the top, and we're doing that by starting a little bit in the pinky area and then blending it up towards the area where you don't have any colour. So as you'll notice here, I start a bit in the pink and then blend it up, and then I blend it down into the other colours. And this just provides even more blending gradient. It does lighten the colours up, but sometimes you might want the colours lightened up a bit, and this sort of helps to blend all the colour combos together better again, in my opinion anyway. And you can still see roughly where a shadows and that are too, with the purple as well. But as you do it more too, you will notice, you probably can't really see that, but you do get a bit of the pencil colour transferring onto the white pencil. So that'll help make it even easier to blend the colour up into those light white areas. These ones where you don't really have any white left because you didn't have much space for the white bits, basically still blend the white pencil over those because you've just got some light pink areas, and that'll just turn those pink areas lighter. It will. And this white will help blend out the line detail between the pink and where there was no colours too. I did go over a bit again there. I kind of get annoyed when I go over the lines, even though there's nothing I can really do about it when it happens. So there we go. I think what I'm going to do, just fill in this, I think I'm going to finish these leaves on this cupcake, so that's that cupcake done. And then we'll see, I may look at trying to start a strawberry, we'll see just how time goes kind of thing. Just because I'm thinking I don't really want people to turn up and voices to be calling out in the background when I'm recording. So apologies if, well, it's not like there's anything wrong, it's not like I can't do a larger part next time, is it? So now we're just coming in with our Peacock Blue PC1027, and we're basically using that over all these areas, as you've seen, I guess kind of with this one, except this one I could have done a bit better at the time when the time came to it. But yeah, you do what you do, I guess. We're basically following the shadows of these leaves with the Peacock Blue. Since they don't have the little outward spines, I'm having to do them slightly differently, shall we say. So, coming down there. I basically decided, I know they're different leaves, but I basically decided to continue all the leaves in the same colour because I kind of like that candy minty sort of green colour for the leaves. I thought it was quite cute, shall we say. And quite a nice little colour addition, and it kind of stood out from the greens I was using elsewhere as well. And next we're going to come in with our Parrot Green PC1006, and as you know, over every colour with just a little light shadow where you can. As you notice, these ones are a lot smaller, so the colour space is filling up a lot faster. They are. I'm going to continue this for longer because I'm really enjoying doing this, and it takes my mind off. My granddad was taken to hospital again last night because he fell and hurt himself again. So actually now we're coming in with the light green PC920. And I know my mum was intending to head over there today. So I'm kind of hoping all will be okay, because as of last night we found out that he had no breaks, which is a good sign, but we're wondering if maybe his hip is out of place or something again, or something along those lines. I'm kind of hoping he may be able to come home because he's got a bit of dementia now, and we're hoping that they will let him out of the hospital, because last time they sort of drugged him up on all sorts of stuff, and let's just say it wasn't good for his health. So yeah, I'm hoping he'll be okay and it all will work out. Yeah, those colours look quite pretty with that green. So now what I think I'm going to do, I think I do want to bring in my strawberry, but I'm just working out, I've got to work out the red colours, so I think I'm going to pause it here while I work out the colours for these strawberries, and then I will come back, because I've decided I'm going to keep going just because it does take my mind off what's going on with Grandad. So yeah, I will be back in a bit. That's probably why I sound a bit flat too, so yeah, I'll be back shortly once I've worked out these colours. So hey everyone, I'm back. I've been playing around with different red tones for the strawberry. Just check it is focused, yeah. As you'll see, I've decided on this tone here. I just blew some stuff off it, so. But yeah, so I've decided on sort of a darker red to pinkish to peach colour for the strawberries, just because I felt that would fit in better than like a bright red, even though it could work. I just felt that would work better. I'm just going to turn my fan on quickly, just because I'm getting hot here. No, would you believe it's autumn and we're still getting 30-degree days here in Australia, so it's like, we don't need it. And then we'll probably have greenish, I think for the seeds, I'll probably, because they're greenish colour, I'll probably do a spring green and a chartreuse for the seeds. The leaves, I'm not sure yet, but we will work it out. I may not do all the strawberries, we'll see, just because, as you'll notice, I didn't do the berries up on this cake part yet either, just because of the fact that, well, it was more shifting around, and I just figured it would be better to work on the sort of what I'm thinking of trying to do is sort of working on the one section at a time and then working my way up kind of thing. So, but we'll see how it goes, of course. But I just decided I'd start with the strawberries down here first, where we started these berries. So first colour we're actually going to come in with is Rasberry PC1030. And what we want to do, because as you notice here with these colour tones, basically the raspberry's the darkest tone, and then you're going to a lighter tone and a lighter tone after that as you get to your lighter areas kind of thing, where the light's actually falling. So we do want to go around these seed bits, because strawberry seeds are usually a greenish colour. So we do still want to follow our shadows though as well at the same time. So I'm basically just drawing an outline around the shadows, and then we can move our colour in from there. We pretty much can. So you notice this isn't like a bright red like you'd normally see on a strawberry. It's more like when the strawberry's turning, how should we say, like it's going from ripe to sort of closer to overripe, I guess you would say. But this was the colour tones I thought worked best with this. So we've got our light coming this way. I'm constantly reminding myself of the way the light source is coming from too. That's why I keep doing it. It's not that I'm trying to treat people like they're silly or anything. I'm just trying to remind myself so that as I colour, I do the right light source from the right direction. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to draw a line around, like I did with the Jonah Bassford this book belongs to. We're actually going to draw a bit of a line around where we want our light areas to, our dark areas to change to light kind of thing. And we're going to colour in that shaded area, that line, and then do some light shading out from that shall we say. Because as you notice here, you see how I've got the neat blending here? That's basically because I think, as I showed you in the last video, I basically start dark and then just lighten out like this. So we go light to dark, dark to light. So yeah, I'm kind of showing a bit more of my pencil choices now and how I do those colours, because I've had a couple of people ask about how do I choose the colours, because they struggle with colour choice and stuff. A lot of it for me is natural gut instincts, but sometimes I still do get stuck wondering which colours I should choose, and so I've discovered it helps me if I basically just start experimenting with all different pencil colours on a piece of paper, pretty much. And we're just going to bring this up here just a little more, just to bring a bit more shadow up into that spot where the leaves are. Now what we want to do is add in some lighter sort of areas where you'd sort of blend it up kind of thing, but we also still want our mid-tone so we don't have a dark streak between where our blending areas go. And what I'll do is do the one strawberry, and then I'll probably basically colour the rest on camera. Do a bit of direction maybe for another one. Well, maybe do a bit of direction for another one, and then basically just colour the others in quiet kind of thing. I'm just going to add a little bit more light tone out here. Just because some areas don't have as much as I'd like. Now, what we're going to come in with is actually our Carmine Red PC926. And as usual, and I don't think I had the cloth over those then. Whoops. And we want to come in over every colour. I was getting distracted, sorry. And this is where some of our pinkish red for the strawberry comes in. But we want to bring that over every colour tone again. And we want to bring it up a bit into here too. Try not to go over the seeds, but like I do, but if you do, like I just did go a little bit over the seed. It doesn't matter too much because, well, what can you do about it? And once it's done, it's done. And as you all know, I don't like using erasers, so because I find they just don't work very well with artist pencils. And so yeah, we're bringing this Carmine Red into all the previous colour tones. And if you can hear the neighbours' dogs, I'm sorry, they bark all the time and they're very vicious dogs. As I've said in the past, I don't like them at all. They just spend their whole time trying to attack people, even because I'm near a school. Even school kids that walk past are trying to have a go and attack them, and then the kids and people stop there kissing them, sending kisses at them and trying to talk to them, and it's like they want to rip your face off. They aren't nice dogs. They never take them for a walk or anything because they are so vicious. Because I guess they don't want to have to go through all that stuff if something happens. But pretty much even my dog, they've been trying to have a go at her out there, and at one point they were trying to dig under our backyard fence to get at her, which kind of scared me, shall we say. And they still try and have a go. Sometimes she she stirs them up, because I rouse on my dog when she does it, but these people, they never get their dogs in trouble for doing the wrong thing at all. They just let them sit there having a go at the school kids as they walk past and all of that. And it's like they've just had a kid of their own, and it's like, really, is the dog going to attack their kid when the kid gets older because they don't do anything to stop them from having a go at other kids? But yeah, that's just my thoughts anyway. I don't think they should have those dogs there, because it's not good for all the kids and the way they have a go. I'm just hoping one day they don't get out and attack a kid and the kid ends up in hospital because of it. That's what I'm hoping. But yes, not really much I can do about it, I guess. So as you'll notice here, we've added in our pinkish red for the strawberry, which I'm loving. Now we're going to come in with Salmon Pink PC1001, and for the rest of this colour tone we're actually going to bring our Salmon Pink in to fill in these areas. So this is kind of like, this area still isn't quite fully ripe, shall we say. You know how you get the white patches on the strawberries and stuff. And we're bringing that in over every colour again too. I just wanted to do another part of this one because I am really enjoying doing this image. It's so much fun. And I love just being able to throw any and all bright colours into it. It's awesome. So I know I can do that with any image I choose to, but I don't always do it because sometimes I have a particular colour scheme in mind or something that I want to do. And so, but then sometimes like this one I go all out and just want to do all sorts of pinks and bright colours and just happy stuff, pretty much. I guess that's another reason why I chose it today, because of everything that's kind of going on with Grandad and hoping that he's okay. So there's our strawberry colour. I think that's quite pretty, and that works in really well with the other colour tones. Now what I think I'm going to do is basically for the seeds, we're going to bring in a spring green PC913, but what we're going to do, we're still going to follow where the light sources go, and some of these areas already coloured over, and it's going to be hard not to fill the whole colour area with the spring green, which as you'll notice it's doing. So I was thinking of doing two tones in there, but it's so small that where the light source is, it's probably, yeah, it's not really going to work so well. But I might just see if I can bring in a bit of a darker green around the base of the seeds. So I'm just going to try grass green PC909, and I'm just going to sharpen that because I'm going to need a point for this. I don't like sharpening them before they're ready to be, but sometimes you kind of need it. And what we're going to do with the grass green is just try and bring that in at the base of these. We're going to colour back over with the spring green again after. But we don't want to take up all the space, which is why we want it sharpened. But it does seem to be taking up a lot of the space because it is so small and it's hard to kind of control. Multiple colours in such small spaces, shall we say. Oh, that was the wrong way. Oh well, still looks decent. We're just going to bring in our spring green PC913 again over the top of those. Just try and blend them in a bit. I still think it works, but it was very hard controlling that grass green to get it into those spots. So yeah, that's our strawberry there. I think it's quite pretty. I think I'm going to try just doing the strawberry leaf. And then I may do another explanation for another strawberry and then just do the rest of the strawberries. Or one more strawberry quiet. I'll at least say the pencil colours as I'm swapping to them, so. Now I need to get greens. I've got so many different pencil colours out for this image, it's not funny. I do. I'm using so many pencil colours. As you all know, sometimes it's fun to do that though. Sometimes I try and limit myself to pencil colours just because I like to do that too. So what I think I'm going to do first, with this green, we're going to use some of our other greens, but we're going to, shall we say, I'm just shifting pencil colours, change it slightly. So we're going to start with the Peacock Green PC907. And we're basically going to bring that down anywhere where there could be shadows, remembering our light source comes from this direction. So we do want some shadows at the back here. We want to add in some sort of lighter spots. We're basically just following directions where shadows would sort of fall. And I've got hair and pencil spots everywhere because of the Prismacolor liking to lose. As you probably all know, the Prismacolor likes to leave pencil bits as you colour, so I try to wipe it off, but I still end up with it all over my page. So we want to bring in some lighter tones there. Here you've got darker tone there and there. And then we're going to come in with a grass green PC909. We're just going to bring that over these colours. And this makes it easier because we had to sharpen this one for use with that other bit, even though it was, in my opinion, wasting lead. I kind of feel like I've wasted lead on this pencil, but I guess sometimes you have to do it. And then lastly we're going to come in with our Spring Green PC913, and we just want to add that over all of these colours. And there's our finished strawberry. So I think I'm just going to pause it there for a minute. I just need to grab a drink and some stuff like that. Then I will be back. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying this. And I will see you shortly. Bye. So hey everyone, I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I might continue just with these 3 strawberries. And then may end that part there. I'm considering with this cake doing like pale pastel pinks and creams. We'll see how we go when we decide on that with like some brighter pink decorations, but we'll see when the time comes as to that, because it seems like there is a lot of pink going into this image. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily. But I kind of thought if we did this pale pinks and stuff, it would be a bit of a contrast to all these bright pinks and that with the frosting, and I don't know. It's just a random thought anyway. So we'll see when the time comes. But I think what I'm going to do for a bit is actually just at least finish these last 2 strawberries. I'm just going to do it the one colour for both and then switch and stuff like I'd usually do. I just, in case I decided to finish it early, I just decided to show you how to do the one strawberry anyway. So yeah, this one doesn't actually have any leaves on it. It's had leaves plucked off. And I just sounded English. I think that was a bit of an English accent there. So we're coming in with our Rasberry PC1030, and we just want to colour that around all these shadow areas. But we also want to work out where because our light source. So I think I'm going to have this bit, I'm just going to draw a bit of a line where I'm going to shade the raspberry bit. I think I'm actually going to have it coming down like this time, just because of the fact that the shadows are sort of coming this way and this is a different angle to the other raspberry. And then we're just basically going to colour in that whole section and then add in our light tones and stuff like that. I don't regularly do this, but sometimes I find it helps if you sort of section off the area where you want the dark tones first, just because of the fact that, well, it just, I guess, for me makes it easier having an idea of how far to go with the colours, particularly when there's a decent bit of space. Because sometimes I don't do enough of the dark, or I do too much of the dark, or yeah. I think someone said that I have no fear when using colours. And it's like, sometimes I do, but when it comes to bright colours like this, no, I don't have fear, because I guess I'm just a bright colour person. I love bright colours and bright things. Anything shiny or sparkly I love. Like sparkles, yeah, I can be mesmerised for hours watching the one sparkly thing. Which isn't always the best thing to happen to you, but yeah, it happens with me, especially when someone gives me something sparkly, or I get something sparkly for myself. Because I just love glitter and sparkles and anything bright. It's just, yeah, I just love it. Now we've got our next strawberry here, and this is where it's kind of getting to the point. Fortunately with this one, you'll see the image next to it goes right into the spine, but fortunately this book is actually very pliable when it comes to the spine. Some books aren't pliable at all and you can't actually work into them easily. I am noticing as I do this one, the spine is so pliable and it's not actually popping the spine. Like the Joanna Basford, this book, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, that actually popped the spine off the top trying to get into areas because I was trying to flatten it and the paper sort of bulged close to the spine, and so I was trying to hold that down and it's basically popped all the glue off the spine area and caused that. So it kind of, well, it seems like this book is actually very good for the fact that it isn't, shall we say, popping the spine or ruining the spine or anything. They've just glued it really well and it's not preventing it or causing a fold in the page and stopping you from properly being able to colour it, because I don't like popping the spines in my books or anything, and yet that one I accidentally did, and I'm not the happiest about it. I'll show you. This was I do intend on actually, I haven't finished it because I intended on actually colouring it, and you can't see it now, but also, oh yeah, you kind of can. All down here has actually popped up off the book because they've actually folded it and stuck it in this part, and it makes it very hard to move the page. See this, some of these images behind, the ones that go into, if there's ones that go into the spine, and I can't see too many, it's going to be very hard. But fortunately it seems like even though it's popped that glue, it is fortunately cloth bound, got string bound with the glue, so fortunately the book isn't going to completely fall apart, which is a relief. So yeah, I just wanted to say that because that is one thing that I am loving about this book, is the fact that the spine is so pliable and it works really well for getting into it. Like this image beside it, I am really easily going to be able to colour that. Like, yes, I may not be able to get totally close without getting colours on the other page, but that's kind of usual. But the fact that the spine is pliable, it will allow me to get closer without getting so many colours on the page, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're basically just following our shadow line again. We want to do this. We've got the bird wings down here. Shadowed lines coming like that, so it would probably more be in the center up to here, I guess. So I'm just quickly trying to work out, because these ones are a little more awkward to work out the shadow distance because they're not sitting flat like these two. So just going to try and hold that down. So I'm just working out why I keep pointing the pencil like this is because that's basically where how I sort of look again at my shadow, where the light sources are coming from, and try and work it out. So, because we'll also, as you'll see, we'll have shadows under this one because of all the strawberry leaves here. So, we're going to quickly draw in those shadows. And then I think for sure there will be shadows down under here, because obviously this is the base bit that's on the table. So I think what I'm going to do is actually bring it around. Oops, I think I just went over the strawberry bit there. Kind of like the lemon, I think I'm going to sort of bring it down and around a bit like I did with the lemon, and have the main sort of light source in this center area, I'm thinking. Because as you'll see, remember here with the lemon, I've just done it sort of more in this center bit with the lightest area. So I'm thinking something like that with this strawberry. And I'm thinking I'm going to just curve this bit up here a bit, and then we can bring a bit more of the red around like we did with that lemon when we get to that. And that way we've got an effective light source there. I'm trying again not to colour over these little seed area bits, but if it happens, it happens. I've done it multiple times where I've gotten parts of the colours over them. I guess as much as I'd like to be, I can't be a perfectionist all the time. I can't do everything right or perfect or any of that. So we're still using our raspberry pencil here. Honestly, this doesn't really look like a raspberry colour to me. The raspberries we did over here look more like a raspberry. Well, I guess in some ways actually it probably kind of is a raspberry colour, but I'd say lighten the raspberry tone up just slightly, and then you probably got the right raspberry tone. Because to me they're more pinkish red rather than this dark crimson red. But yeah, that's just me and how I think of them. And we're just going to lighten up the mid-tones so we don't have an obvious streak between where the colour changes. As you can tell, this one does have a lot more dark on it. Next we're going to come in with our Carmine Red PC926. And as we did before, we're going to bring that here, but we also want to bring it completely up around this top area and then colour over all the other colours as well. So this is how we did our lemon. As you'll notice, I have accidentally gone over some of the seeds with the other colour. By accident, I'll try colouring the actual proper seed colour over them, but I can't guarantee that it is necessarily going to work to fix things up. But again, I won't be using an eraser to try and do that, because then it takes the other pencil colour off and then it makes it hard to apply the colour again, because it damages the paper quality and it's still got part of the colour underneath. And yeah, you all know that complaint because I've gone over it before. as I'm doing with heaps of the seeds on this one. Done it. It's probably also partly because this pencil is getting to the point where it's completely lost its point and will need sharpening, but as you all know, I'm trying not to waste money with getting these pencils and sharpening them back to a point all the time and wasting a whole heap of lead off them, because they aren't cheap in Australia. Sometimes I wish I was in America because things are a lot cheaper over there. Just to order something from America to Australia, the postage is like almost 3 times less. If I sent something to America, it would cost me like $40 Australian. To get something from America, it's about $10 or $12 postage Australian. So, not to mention the fact that reading books and stuff are so much cheaper over there too. But yeah, you get what you get, I guess. I also know though that jobs over in America aren't as well paid as here in Australia, and that's why things here in Australia are a lot more expensive as well, because you don't get quite as much money from your jobs and careers and stuff, and things are a little different over there with how you earn your money, and yeah, as I said, you don't tend to get paid as much, which is kind of a shame. But then I guess living costs and stuff would be a lot more over there too, like it is here, if you had that. Also, another thing, my sister is looking for paper stuff to draw images, and I'm going to, she's going to start drawing some fantasy images. I'm going to start actually working on colouring them, and we're considering like doing some copies and maybe in the future a colouring book with those images. So that'll be cool, because I'll be able to possibly share in the future a colouring book with you all, and you'll be able to colour along with that. And my sister's going to do the drawings, and I'm going to start also working on colouring those images. Like, I'm sure it'll take a long time, but yeah, we're considering putting some copies up for sale of those, and also considering, like, shall we say, selling the original copy. We're considering it, not certain if the original will be sold yet or not, because it's going to take, as I was telling her, for 1 to 2 pieces it could take 100 to 200 hours of colouring just to colour the fantasy image, because we're looking at doing like A3 size on 180 GSM paper. But it'll be cool if we can start doing some images and colouring it, and even put out a colouring book out there for everyone else to be able to colour those images as well. It's just something I wanted to share. My sister is part of this group, as some of you may have noticed someone else with the same name in the group liking things. So big shout out to her. I'm looking forward to doing this with her. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to share some cool colouring images and coloured books and stuff with you. And if you're interested, you may be able to get a copy of something that, well, that I've coloured myself too, because I'm going to put up offers for that in my Facebook colouring group when the time comes, and I'll probably do some videos as I'm colouring those personal images on this channel as well. So I'm going to work those in with some other stuff. I'm also considering, because I'm kind of working towards it being like an art channel, I'm also considering, shall we say, adding in some like jewellery making tutorials when I do photo shoots, looking at adding in behind the scenes photo shoots. I'm also looking at adding in how to hand colour photos. So if you're interested in a photo that you've taken or something, how to hand colour it yourself so that you can actually use your own personal images and hand colour them. And so yeah, I'm quite looking forward to adding all those things into it. I still haven't worked out live streaming yet. I do want to do that. So yeah, now I've got the bandwidth, I just need to work out how to do it and how to set it up, because I'm thinking camera probably won't work for that. I'm probably going to have to get a webcam and try and work out how to set it up so it's not upside down and blah 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 to be able to do that, shall we say. But yes, it's something I'm planning on. So yeah, that's just plans I have for this channel, so I hope you'll stick around and still join me in this channel. But I do want to add, I'm still going to keep the colouring stuff, so we're still going to be doing colouring books and everything like that, don't get me wrong. I still love colouring books and I still fully intend on keeping them in this channel. So you have no worries, that's going nowhere. I just want to add in more art stuff to this channel as well as the colouring stuff that I'm doing. It's all still revolved around colouring, but some stuff might be adding in my other art hobbies or photography hobbies or stuff like that. So you may get to see me doing the fantasy shoots behind the scenes, and then you may see me hand colouring a photo from that. So yeah. Anyway, next we're coming in with our Salmon Pink PC1001, and as you know, we just colour that over every colour again, filling in all this space. We will bring it down into the other colours in a minute. But yeah, that's just plans and things that I want to do with this channel. And yeah, I just wanted to let people know we were going to be working on doing that. So yeah, who knows, you may have a chance to get something that's being coloured by me or something, because I will offer the chance to get a copy, because I was thinking of doing like copies of the coloured images, so that, as well as the originals, so that people have a chance to get a cheaper version of something that I have coloured if you want to. But of course it's up to the person, I'm not going to force anyone to do it. So yeah, we're just filling out all these colour areas. But it's just things that I'm excited about extending and doing with this channel as well, because I think it's going to be fun. So there's that strawberry. I think what I'm going to do, because it's 23 minutes in, I'm just going to pause for a minute, then we'll come back and colour this strawberry, then do the seeds and the leaves, and then we may leave it at that for this time. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying this, and I will be back in a minute. So hey everyone, we're back. We're just going to keep going here with our Salmon Pink PC1001. We're just going to keep filling in all of these areas. Just realised how late it's getting here, the sun's starting to go down. Yeah, we want this salmon pink over every colour again. as you've probably noticed, why I blend colours over other colours so much is because it completely changes the colour tone from what it could be. I find, like, sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not a good thing because it completely changes the colour you have in mind, but sometimes what you think is not a good thing with the colour changing actually ends up being a good thing, because then you've got this completely unique colour on your image kind of thing, I guess you could say. And so in that case it makes your image more unique because of the fact you have a completely different colour to what people would usually get by mixing those colour combos. Sometimes I'm a bit unsure about it, but like the green, orange, pink and orange flower from Cerulean, but sometimes you can pull together all sorts of crazy combos by doing that and taking the risk, I guess you could say. And then there's other times where it doesn't work. And I forgot to bring the red up here. I'm just going to quickly bring the red up into this bit. There we go. Now what we want to do is use our grass green, and we just want to bring in, as you know, just try and bring it in just at the bottom area kind of thing, not up the top area, because we want to try and add in some spring green there, even in these areas that have had red go over them. But that doesn't matter because sometimes the seeds have a bit of a reddish tint to them anyway, so. Oops, we went fully into that one. But that is the difficulty with working with such small spaces, as I've said. Now what we're going to do, we're going to actually bring in our spring green PC913, and we're going to colour that over all of those, over that grass green where the seeds are. So as you'll notice with this one, because I've accidentally gone over so many of the seed colours, they're not all going to be looking the same. I do notice sometimes the strawberries do sometimes have a bit of a reddish tint on the seeds, so I guess it doesn't matter too much, but that's there again where I go into the eraser thing, and I'm sure you don't need to hear that again. So now finally we're going to come in with our leaves on this strawberry. So we're going to come in with our Peacock Green PC907. We want to bring that in just where any shadows sort of would fall, because of our reminding ourselves of our light source, where it's coming from. We are. And this is where I find this book is really good, because it's not popping the spine, but the spine is just easily flattening itself out for me to do this part, which is right near the spine, which would usually be awkward because of the bubbling and all of that, as I'm sure any other colourist knows how awkward it can be doing a part near the spine, even if it's on the page where it's not dipping. Well, it can kind of dip into the spine, but I mean, any colourist sort of knows how difficult it can be, particularly like this page. It's more because it's bubbling up this way and dipping in. This page it's awkward because it's pushing into the spine, but it's flat. So yeah, that's kind of what I mean, I guess. As I'm sure you all know. Just how difficult and awkward that sort of thing can be. Next, we want our grass green PC909. As you see, I'm trying to just push it down and keep it a bit flat as I'm doing it to make it easier to colour this spot. Trying to leave some white areas where you can with this green to just do our lighter tone before we add in our last colour. Whoops, that one probably went a bit far with the green. I wasn't intending to go quite that far. Just nothing to do about it now. That's kind of like how, when I go over the lines, how I do it. It's just like I'm just colouring and all of a sudden it's like my hand cramps up a bit or it slips, and next thing you know, we're over the lines. It's fortunate I didn't go too out of the thing then. Next we're going to come in with our spring green PC913, and we just want to finish that over every colour. There. And try not to go over the red of our strawberries or whatever, like I almost did. It's also partly because this hand is kind of cramping, and so the page moves as it cramps too, trying to put the pressure to hold it down, because you sometimes need quite a bit of pressure to hold these pages down when you're colouring the spine. And that's well, for me anyway, I find that cramps my hand up and then causes my hand to flinch as it cramps, and then it moves the page, and that was probably what happened before when the pencil went way further than I was intending to. My hand on this side cramped, and then basically the page moved, and that caused the pencil to go further than I was intending. But yeah, so that's our final strawberry done, and I think what I'm going to do is actually leave it at that for now. Probably the next part that I'll bring it in for, probably the next part I'll do is look at doing Millie Marotto's Lion again, just so people know I am coming back to that as well, and then look at doing going back to, I think it's Leah Julie's The Flower Year book with the Derwent pencils, and then I'll probably flip it around to Serene and then Mythomorphia and that sort of thing again. So it'll probably be a couple of videos next till you get the next part of this one, but I was just enjoying it, so I really wanted to do another video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.